So, good day everyone. We are the RNunners of Duty, first year Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Now, let's start. We're going to tackle about MIMAMSA. MIMAMSA is one of the 6 darshans or ways of viewing the world, according to Hindu philosophy. The other 5 darshans are Yoga, Samkhya, Vaisheshika, Nyaya, and Vedanta. Mimamsa is a Sanskrit word meaning reflection, consideration, profound thought, investigation, examination, and discussion. Mimamsakas, which are the scholars of Mimamsa, asserted that whenever perception is not the means of direct proof and knowledge, one cannot prove such non-empirical propositions to be true or not true. Rather, one can only prove a non-empirical proposition is false, not false, or uncertain. Mimamsa advanced the unique epistemological theory that all cognition is valid. All knowledge is true until it is superseded by further cognition. What is to be proved is not the truth of a cognition but its falsity. Mimamsakas drew on this theory of validity to establish the unchallengeable validity of the Vedas.
Basically, the Mimamsa is under of deontic force or deontic logic, and it provides some of the most detailed and systematic analysis. The formalization of deontic arguments in Mimamsa should be seen as a part of an ongoing attempt to use formal approaches to represent arguments and principles of reasoning in Indian philosophical thought. And a natural place to look for the study of deontic concept in India is Mimamsa. Furthermore, the present work will enable the scholars to compare the contribution of Mimamsa to the study of logic and reasoning with the contribution of other important schools of Indian philosophy.
Mimamsa evolved many innovative ideas which may be applied in the contemporary field of discourse analysis. Many of these ideas were the outcome of the dialogue with the heterodox system of Indian philosophy. Apurva is one of them, and his advance to explain the cause and effect between relationship and its result. The Mimamsa Sutras of Jaimini are nothing but rules and principles of interpreting the Veda. These were evolved out of the need to interpret the whole Veda meaningfully. Actually, the Veda was the basis of the ritual culture prevalent in the society. According to the view of heterodox system, the Veda contained many meaningless sentences, many understandable, ambiguous, ridiculous, and also contradictory sentences. Such a text, in their opinion, could not be the basis of a culture, and this was the main point of the opponents. Kumarila has divided all categories into 2 groups, positive and negative. There are 4 kinds of negative categories: prior, posterior, obsolete, and mutual. Substance, quality, action, and generality are 4 groups of positive categories. Kumarila has included force and similarity into substance. Kumarila has accepted 9 substances of Vispika: earth, water, fire, air, ethos, times, space, spirit, and mind, and added 2 more sound and darkness. He rejects particularity and inherence. Particularity has been included in the quality of difference, while inherence is reduced to identity in difference. Kumarila's philosophically sophisticated effort thus to detach characteristically Vedic claims from any finite human perspective can be understood rather insidious. It is not beside the point to note in this regard that the Mimamsa tradition he advanced can be characterized.
Criticisms of this theory. Mimamsa give rules of the interpretation of the Vedas. which is the earliest scripture of Hinduism, and to provide a philosophical justification for the observance of Vedic ritual. Because Mimamsa is concerned with the earliest parts of the Vedas called Karmakanda. It is also referred to as a Purva Mimamsa, prior study, or Karma Mimamsa, study of action. Mimamsa provides enlightenment on Dharma, which in this school is understood as the set of ritual obligation of prerogatives that, if properly performed, they maintain the harmony of the world and further the personal goals of the performer.
Benefits of theory: having the ability to explain and more accurately predict phenomena, help to recognize, understand, and explain new situations, compare and contrast different experiences. Theories provide a framework for understanding human behaviors, thought, and development by having a broad base of understanding about the hows and whys of human behaviors. We can better understand ourselves and others. Each theory provides a context for understanding and certain aspect of human.
Application of the theory in the following issue. The first issue is abortion. So what is abortion? An abortion is a procedure to end pregnancy. It is used medicine or surgery to remove a fetus and placenta from the uterus. The procedure is done by a licensed healthcare professional. What is abortion in India? Abortion in India is legal. Under various circumstances, it can be performed until 24 weeks of pregnancy. In exceptional cases, a court may allow a termination after 24 weeks when a woman gets pregnancy terminated voluntarily from a service provider. It is called include abortion. In India, as in other countries, women choose to terminate their pregnancy for a variety of reasons that often reflects their social and economic circumstances. Unintended pregnancy and subsequent abortion may also be indicated of women inadequate access and ineffective use of modern contraceptives, as well as gender inequities that often compromise women's ability to negotiate contraceptive use when they do not desire pregnancy. Human sexuality is the way people experience and express themselves sexually. This involves biological, erotic, physical, emotional, social, or spiritual behaviors. Because it is a broad term which has varied with historical context over time, it lacks precise definition, the biological and physical aspect of sexuality. Largely concern the human reproductive function, including the human sexual response cycle. India is a vast country, depicting wide social, cultural, and sexual violation. India's concept of sexuality has evolved over time and has been immensely influenced by various rulers and religions. Indian sexuality is manifested in art, behavior, recreation, literature, sculpture, and scriptures, religions, and sports. It has influenced the way we perceive our health, disease, and devise remedies for the same. In a modern era with rapid globalization, the unique Indian sexuality is getting diffused. The time has come to rediscover ourselves. In terms of sexuality, to attain individual freedom and to reinvest our energy, social issue related to sexuality. Environmental ethics is the discipline in the philosophy that studies the moral relationship of human beings and also the value and moral status of environment and its non-human contents. Its primary focus on environmental ethics, and in particular the role that Buddhism and other religions institutions played in the management of land and natural resources and their strategy of dealing with the economic and human fallout of environment stress.
My evaluation for MIMAMSA is, it is the desire to think or how to think and interpret things. Because MIMAMSA is known to use for signifying any critical investigation. MIMAMSA also made important contribution to Hindu thought in the fields of logic and epistemology. And we all know that epistemology is the branch of philosophy that studies the nature, origin, and scope of knowledge and belief, or simply the theory of knowledge. Therefore, MIMAMSA became a powerful intellectual force.
Or here are the 5 questions that I already made for. So number 1 is, what are some ethical dilemmas that you have faced for? And number 2 is, explain the distinction between teleological and deontological ethical theories and how they apply in a situation. And next is, how do we fear death? Do you think it affect our morality or in our morality in a hard situation? And number 4, does the moral theory encourage the kind of abilities or skills to do a good? Lastly is, does the theory lend itself in a certain kinds of moral dilemmas but not others? So that is the 5 questions to reflect on the theory that I made for the ethical theory. And that's all. Thank you.